when it comes to red light cameras and speed cameras. We do it by tackling them one community at a time. And when you've done it in yours, you teach the next one over. This is how you do the same thing. This is the biggest headache you will give any globalist anywhere. Just a couple of things to watch out for. Educate people. Combat these issues. Smart growth, smart code, sustainability, smart meters, sustainable development. Even as you're recording this right now, sir, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for saying this. That man hates smart things. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. Because another thing that Agenda 21 and the UN and globalists have done a very good job of is messaging and branding. Messaging and branding.
Until they believe it.
That's right. It's absolutely right. And control the language. Joel and I talked about this today. Change the language until freedom is slavery. So, until stupid becomes smart, and until smart actually means oppression and control, right? And so we have to be careful with languaging and how we talk about things. Part of what we want to do in our engagement process is create language and work, not all coming from me. Okay, everything I'm telling you, these are crowdsourced efforts to create strong language that we're able to use that will appeal to people in a way that, again, allows them to move forward. We want to engage student groups. We want to engage journalists and wake them up, business owners and entrepreneurs, Tea Party groups, Occupy groups, independent voters. And then, of course, there's some bigger things, too, that you guys need to focus on. Liberty, Iowa shocked the nation in 2012. You guys were awesome. You guys were really awesome. And come 2014, the one disadvantage that you'll have is that the establishment is now expecting you. They know that you're coming. And they know that you're real, and that you exist, and that you actually are a force. The Tampa rule change is a huge one that has to be dealt with. And that has to be dealt with on a local level as well as on a national level. It starts on a local level by getting after your local national committee man, committee woman. I don't know if they're here tonight. But you get after them and you let them know what you expect of them, or they're going to be looking for another post. That these rule changes have to be fixed. I talked to Morton Blackwell the other day, and there's an effort being made right now to overturning the whole thing's probably not going to happen, but a piece-by-piece shift can take place to fix that rule change in Tampa, and that's what's being worked on right now. You are more engaged than the average person, as I tell you this, and you know what's on the line, so it's got to happen. The last part of this process is to activate people. And engagement activation may sound sort of like the same thing, they're a little bit different. The long-term goals. There are some long-term things that we're hoping to do through this project. First of all, we believe the best ideas do not come from Washington. They certainly do not come from lobbyists or from corporations. They do come from the people. They don't come from all people. Some people have some really bad ideas. They do. However, that's what crowdsourcing is about. So, as you know, we're doing this thing through Kickstarter, or you may not know that, but this project that we've launched is actually happening through Kickstarter. But the Kickstarter model is good for more than just money. It's also a great way to crowdsource ideas. If we're talking about healthcare, why aren't we crowdsourcing people who are experts in the healthcare field? Not pharmaceutical companies, but people who have worked in that field and worked with people, and people who have struggled from that field, and crowdsourcing from them ideas that can then be looked at, contemplated, worked through, revised again, and eventually become legislation. At some point, legislation in this country has to begin to come from the people again, because it doesn't now. You probably know this. The laws that are being passed are not written by lawmakers, and they're not coming from you. They're coming from lobbyists. Nobody's even reading the bills anymore. So we have to change that. The activation step, granted, is a further step than where we are right now. But it's one we want to get to quickly. And the more support that we have and the more people who are involved in this project, the faster we get there. We want voices. We want people who are willing to stand up and say, you know what, I want to be counted. I want to be a part of this process. I'm going to show you one more thing here.
Dear America, as children we all grew up learning that embracing the truth was a noble idea. expected it from our parents, our family, and friends. We also grew up with the sense that media and the news were trustworthy. Sadly, this is a time gone by. Truth in media is a thing of the past, but it doesn't have to be. If you support restoring truth in media, click here and see how you can help. Ben Swann is ready. Are you?
You can't run up here and click that, by the way. It doesn't work. So here's what I want to close with tonight. The Truth in Media Project, I'm not looking for money from you. What I am looking for are people who will stand up and be counted as part of this project, because that's what we really need. At the end of the day, we don't need dollars. We need people who are willing to say, I want to be a part of something that actually means change. That doesn't mean that I'm your savior and I'm here to save the world and I have this idea that somehow I'm going to fix things. I'm not. But I believe I can be a catalyst to connecting groups around the country that are ready to do this. So when I tell you that liberty is rising in this country, I believe absolutely tonight that it is. I believe that our window is limited. But I also believe that for just such a time as this movement has come along. This is our opportunity. This is our chance. Thank you, guys.
All right.